With over 33 years in the mobile bartending and service industry, he is the guy who brings the party and the joy wherever he goes.
She's a seasoned event planner and producer with more than 20 years of experience in sports, corporate, nonprofit, and private events, and she's here to keep things running smoothly.
Together, we are hot mics, cold drinks, and untold disasters of the wild, hilarious, and unforgettable moments in the world of events. This is the EventTalk podcast with Dave and Rachel. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the EventTalk podcast, hot mics, cold drinks, and untold disasters. We are here today with a sorority sister, friend. I've known her forever. I was super excited when she's like, sure, I'll be on your guys' podcast. And so we have Cecilia Romero who is joining us. Hello, hello.
Hi.
And she is an event planner, which is so funny because we were in the same sorority in college. And then she started working for U of A Athletics when I was there. And now it's weird, since college, we haven't done a ton together, but we're both in the event space, which is so funny. She has a company out of San Francisco called Miss 7x7. That's just a full-on event planning company, which is phenomenal. So welcome.
Yes. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Of course. I mean, it's so funny because I look at her and she looks exactly the same, everything from college. And it's wait, it's been that many years since college and not as long as you, Dave, I know.
No, but I know it. Even you guys are both 63, you'll look at each other and you'll still see
the same person.
It's hilarious. It's a weird phenomenon.
So, but obviously, I want to, kind of go into your kind of background, even though I know some of it, but let you introduce our lovely podcast listeners or people tuning in on YouTube to hear kind of, where you started and why you kind of got into event planning. And then obviously we're here to talk about a lot of fun behind the scenes stories, untold disasters, just things that make you laugh and just did not expect in the event space. So take it away, Cecilia.
Awesome. Thank you. So my event career started with Arizona Athletics in fall of 2006, even though I've known Rachel now for 20 years this August.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
And so I interned for Arizona Athletics for 3 years, sophomore to senior year, and then graduated, moved back to the Bay Area, started working for different companies, more in the administrative space, so executive assistant for different startups, but was also planning their internal corporate events in parallel. And then I was doing that career-wise for about 7 years, and then I pivoted completely into supply chain. So I started sourcing initially food, beverage, and packaging for a restaurant technology startup that I was working at, and then
Didn't you do not concessions, but vending machine, food and vending machines?
No, this company had their own restaurant concept. It was fast casual. So I was, I got to learn a lot about produce and, when lettuce translates from Central California to Yuma, Arizona, for example, and really got to know produce trends and when it's a good time to buy all types of produce.
Interesting.
And then I transitioned into sourcing hardware, so mechanical and electrical parts, and bringing the designs of engineers to life. And then I quit my job almost coming up on 2 years now. November 3rd of 2023, I quit.
Wow.
I left the startup I was at as the director of supply chain. I was leading a department and had built the team from the ground up. And I knew at the start of 23 that my next move was going to be a break, because I just couldn't imagine going to another company and starting over. And it was for the first time ever in my career that I was like, I cannot picture the next thing that I'm going to do.
Okay.
So I had structured my time off. If you guys are curious, I'm happy to go into that.
No, it's okay. You don't have to.
Essentially, on one of those many walks with my dog around San Francisco, the concept for Miss 7x7 came to me. And even then, it was something I was thinking about for a while. And I didn't officially file for my LLC until April of 2024.
That's crazy. I know. I feel like you've been doing it for so long already, and it's really new, even though you're experienced in it. It's just the LLC officially is new. So, well, congratulations. That's a huge step, because I know it's been a journey through everything that you've been through and done, and different turns of life and career paths. But you, like me too, I was, I still did events for technology and for other companies, but I think at the end of the day, just the event planning side of it is always what stood out to me. So, and now you are here as an event planner.
And you love it because you're on your own. It's your day.
Yes.
You're in
yes.
charge
It's
of
a
what you
lot of
do.
fun.
When I text her, I was like, can you be free at this time on this day? And she's like, sure.
Sure.
And I was like, that's the best
Everyone
thing
should own a business.
of working for yourself.
Yes. And what's
So-
wild, I'm still working with vendors today that I worked with from like the 2011 to 2013 era for some of those companies that I was
That's
at.
so funny. Yeah.
Good.
They're good people. I mean, when you find good people that you like and like working with, you stick with them. So that makes sense. Totally. Do you have a favorite location in San Francisco that you like to do some events?
It's really based off of what the client is going for.
Yeah.
Of course, if they want to optimize and leverage existing infrastructure, I will source the right restaurant or bar based off of their vibe and their aesthetic, because there are so many options here. There's over 4,000 bars and restaurants in San Francisco, but
Wow.
also at the same time, like I just did a launch event for a client at their office. And a big conference I did in June was also at their office. So sometimes I have to work with the space and the constraints that I'm handed and deliver on that. So it really depends.
How funny. Dave and I, more Dave than me at this point, are working with Jill Hall, who was a former podcast.
It was last weekend.
Yeah, sure. Whenever, yeah. But she's doing it. So Jill kind of taught both me and Cecilia about events, which is kind of funny. And that's what that whole podcast is about, is her as like my mentor. But she is coming up from Tucson to Phoenix or Scottsdale, because the U of A has a Scottsdale office. And so they're doing like a book reveal or something where they're having a speaker come in. And so we've had to create the event in the Scottsdale office of U of A versus going down to Tucson. And Dave's doing the bar.
Yeah, and it was last
Nice.
weekend. It turned out perfect.
It did. So, okay, so what's the big difference between like doing events? I mean, obviously college and professional are two different worlds, but doing events in Arizona versus San Francisco.
I mean, you don't have the heat.
Right, there's no desert.
But you got fog, you got snow, you got hills.
No haboobs.
No snow out here, but definitely fog, wind. But I have yet to do an outdoor event in the last year and a half. Like everything's been primarily inside. Although, I mean, there was a baseball game.
Rooftops?
I hosted 60 people. Yeah. Rooftops. We're in a really nice season right now for San Francisco, where it's like 70 plus every day. That's usually our September weather.
Hey, we're getting there. I think
it went down.
This is our
80
last, hopefully, week at 100 plus.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I'd say the biggest difference, though, having a golf cart in college to cart everything around.
She did the
was
beer with
pretty
me
fun.
at football.
Yes, that was pretty fun.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Yes, I didn't, when I was with U of A, yes, we had the golf cart. But when I was with the PGA Tour, it was like 10 points to hit the person in front of you that's going like 2 miles an hour and won't move out of the way. And you just slightly bump them with the golf cart. Joking. I never hit anybody on purpose. Anyways. Okay. So what is kind of something that's like unexpected that's happened during, let's say in the year and a half you've had Miss 7x7? Obviously you have, a career and stuff like that before and things that you've attended, but what was kind of one of the most like unexpected, either in a positive or kind of a negative way that was funny?
Sure. I'd say 2 things come to mind. One is the big conference that I executed in June, which included building out their registration website. Of course, all the vendors. It was at the client's office. It was a mobility conference. So all of the attendees were either hard of hearing, in mobility chairs, or deaf. And that was one of those conferences where I really tried to put myself in the mindset of, okay, I'm catering to an audience that isn't catered to on a day-to-day basis.
So true.
So what can I do to make this the most welcoming event possible? Anywhere from like the bar heights. I didn't have standard bar heights. I did lower tops. I did a combination of high boys and low boys. And I think overall, like, to get the feedback that a keynote speaker said, this is the first time attending a conference that wasn't put on by somebody in the disability org or someone who has one, and it was the most accessible event that I've attended, was pretty rewarding.
That's very cool.
And what I love with events, it's like, you guys know this, it's like you almost form this like little city, this little world with all your vendors, and you're interacting with them every day. And I love that. It's like everyone comes together to execute something, and then we go away, and then maybe we come back on a different event.
It's true. It's true.
So that's one. And then the second one, most recently, a client who's a European-based client launching here in the United States asked me, they're like, hey, do you have any experiences with billboards? And I said, no, but I can figure it out. Or actually, let me ask my public relations team behind the 7x7. Fortunately, they had experience. But I learned so much about the billboard sourcing process. And currently I have a billboard live in San Francisco for
Look at that.
my client.
Big time. Literally
is
big.
it like the digital ones that keep changing?
Not a digital one, but right now it's super competitive out here. So, I mean, in short, when a billboard is available, you can place a 3-day hold, and within those 3 days, you have to decide if you're going to sign a contract or not, or else it just goes on to the next person on the list.
And each billboard has its own demographics, I'm assuming.
Correct. Yes, a lot of data and decision making behind like where the billboard was placed and all that.
Right, based on your company.
Interesting. Well, and we did the event talk a couple months ago at a place called Ability 360 here in the Valley, which is a kind of gym and a physical building meant for people with disabilities. And through the speakerships there, and kind of going to your first one, it's like, I mean, there's everything from special sound things. Like it's such an area in event planning and in the event space that like you don't think about. And I think as a planner, I always want to make sure, okay, is there anybody who will need a special, kind of accommodation? And I don't even know if that's the politically correct way to say it. I think this is a huge point of we need to figure out a better way to communicate amongst this, whether they are autistic or whether they need hearing aids or stuff like that. Like what is the appropriate way to say it? But in the event space, we need to talk about it more. And so I love that you literally did an event for everybody with various different, types of abilities. They're not disabilities, just different types of abilities. And I mean, we did something where it's like, hey, even a grand entrance into an event, it's like lit by candles and flowers. And it's like, but what if somebody needs a wheelchair and they can't walk up the stairs? Well, let's make sure that wheelchair accessibility area has that same grand entrance. So thank you for doing that. It's fun to learn along the way for sure. So. Okay. So do you have a time when something went kind of totally sideways that the guests, as Dave loves to say, that the guests didn't know about?
They didn't know about.
They didn't know about. You fixed it before they knew about it. Anything like that? That's kind of fun that happened.
So recently for this launch event, I get to the office the day of first setup and I'm looking around and my client's been working out of the office and it's not a typical, desk office space. There's some automation and robotics that happen through there and assembly. And I'm looking around and this is basically 9:45 in the morning. Guest arrivals at 4 p.m. First vendor was already on site setting up. And I'm like, wow, I don't know the last time they physically cleaned their office.
Oh no.
So there's just like dust everywhere.
Yeah.
And so I call Angela, the gal who's been cleaning my place for years. And I'm like, Angela, by any chance, can you send someone or people to this address? She's like, let me call you back. She calls me back and she's like, I will have 2 people there within the hour.
Oh my goodness.
And they were here for 2.5 hours cleaning as like decor was getting set up. And then eventually my AV team arrived and then, catering and they were just cleaning up. So yeah, that was one of those things where I was like, I'm just going to do it because it needs to be done. And I was like, there's no way I can present the office in this way for, a launch event.
That's so fun. I never even thought about that for events. I mean, like when you go into like rental spaces, you just expect them to be clean,
right?
Let alone an office or wherever it is. That's just part of the venue's commitment to you coming in and doing an event. But like, yeah, if you have
maybe the venue didn't know, they didn't remember that you were coming.
Yeah.
Right. So they just did all their stuff.
I mean, it's one thing to have tables and chairs and like that kind of stuff left over, I think, but like full on just dust and not saying there were probably like trash cans overflowing or stuff like that, but that's hilarious. And that it took them that long to clean it.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
That is a long time.
It's a good thing you came in early.
Oh,
yes.
Always.
Oh, yes. I was like 9:45 is like, but 4:00 start. But yeah, no, that's hilarious. Oh my God. I love it. Okay. So we talked a little bit about, vendors kind of, once you find one, you've had them for a while and you work with them in different time frames. Obviously, Dave's kind of company is more of a vendor when it comes to events. But have you had something where they've just totally canceled last minute or just didn't show up at all? And then like, what did you do?
We hunted them down, right?
Canceled or didn't show up, no. But
Okay.
I did have a vendor where, so the caterer had subcontracted out the rentals that were supposed to arrive, the glassware, the plates and whatnot. And that didn't deliver. So the event was on a Tuesday, delivery window was Monday. Didn't show up on Monday. So I'm, freaking out, calling my caterer. They're like, it's going to be okay, because they also have their own flatware glassware that they can bring in. They're like, worst case, we can go pick up from the rental company tomorrow morning, before the event. But until I know we're okay, like I'm at this point also coming up with my plan B and plan C. So like plan A, yeah, exactly. So A is what we originally ordered shows up. B is they go pick it up. C is at this point I had already procured nice custom, or not custom, but just nice flatware, like the disposable kind, where I called up a former client whose event I did a few weeks prior and was like, hey, I know you have these small plates and these forks and these cups. Can I come pick them up?
That's funny. Dollar Tree or 99-cent store, or very good friends sometimes.
Exactly. So, it ended up being a scenario where the caterer ended up going to the rental company and picking up the morning of the event. So we ended up with what we had originally intended to. But
yeah. Well, last weekend they ordered something that nobody told us. So the bartender got there and said, we're supposed to have. So we just, this whole Uber Eats thing is fantastic. I just made a little thing and boom, it was there 15 minutes prior and it sort of saved the day. But
oh my gosh,
it's crazy that you can get away with that kind of stuff.
Hey, I actually had to tell a vendor no. So mine was, it literally, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, I was doing a movie night out in the middle of like an orchard. And so we had like food vendors coming in and they actually pay to be there, which is kind of funny because they sell their product and they get to keep all the money. And I said, okay, guys, setup is 5 o'clock. Doors open at 6, 5 o'clock. You have to wheel everything in. You can't drive everything in. Like you have to be there. He calls me at 6:05 after I'd emailed him, texted him, called him. He's like, oh, I'm on site. I can't find it. And I'm like, sorry, like too late. Like,
and he paid?
Yeah, he paid. And I'm just like, I told you had to be here at this time because at that point gates were open. It was liability. I can't have you bringing stuff in. So I was just like, sorry, like it shouldn't, but I probably will comp his next one just because I want the thing there. But I'm just like, vendors have to know, like, it's a time commitment. I even have one event coming up where the food vendors have to be there at 6 a.m., even though the event starts at 8, because we have load in of cars and load in of dogs. And just, it's a cycle, a timeline that you have to stick within. And so I'm just like, guys, if you're not there, you're not coming. So in my case, like it sucked to not have them there, but it didn't make or break my event where obviously, Cecilia, in your case, it's like if you don't have China and, all that stuff, it's like, well, what are we going to do? So different vendor components, I guess, but that's hilarious. So, oh man. Okay. So what's the strangest kind of most over the top request you've had? And this doesn't necessarily have to be within the 7x7, but just like everything, in your kind of career, just most over the top thing kind of in events or, just extravagant that you had to like accommodate and just never thought you had to.
So years ago, I worked for a certain electric car company out here, and I had to plan a 2,000 person holiday party at the factory.
Okay.
And that one was an interesting challenge because I had 30,000 square feet to play with for the actual event space, but
a lot of space.
there was no power, nothing, because the infrastructure of the factory was also getting built at the same time in parallel. So I was just hand in hand with facilities. Are we going to make the timeline? Will each column have power? And to go back to the other question of like something, people don't know, but
behind the scenes.
Because of the setup and the 30,000 square feet was on the second floor, there was like a long entryway that you had to walk to actually get to the event. But on the way out, there was a non-working escalator. And
Oh,
so
goodness.
people
Okay.
were taking cardboard boxes and sliding down them at the end of the night.
Aw.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
But
Well, you would do it. I would do it.
fortunately, no one was injured. But yeah, it was one of
Knock
those
on
because
wood.
obviously, I was on radio, right, with security and my team and all of that, all the vendors because
Oh my
the space was
gosh.
so big.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, in terms of just, I would say that one had a lot of, that was a 3-day load in, like 2-day load out event.
Yeah.
But I mean, the billboard obviously threw me for a loop
Yeah.
recently, but again, was able to figure that out in short order.
Yeah.
So in terms of crazy, crazy requests, no, but I've had really fun themed parties. Some of my favorite themed parties, holiday parties that I've done, Monopoly.
Okay.
I've like one day I just popped
Pass
into
go,
my mind.
Dave. Pass go.
Yes. And this was at a company where I had full reign to plan their holiday parties, and the theme was always a secret. And one day I was like, why not make it Monopoly? I loved that board game as a kid.
Yeah.
But that one was so fun. We had a lot of live characters. So there was a community chess character, a chance character. You had to figure out their clues, and then you get access to the VIP section where Miss Boardwalk was. But yeah, it was such a colorful and vibrant party. That was one. And then a
Very
Bug's Life was
creative.
another, where brought in like 15, 16 foot tall flowers. I wanted everyone to feel small in this larger than life world. But yeah.
Very clever. Very clever.
So Monopoly, can you explain that again? Because we throw a lot of theme parties at my office, and that might be a good one.
Well, she said smaller, so everything around you was big.
No, for the Monopoly.
A Bug's Life was, I wanted
Bug's Life.
everyone
Sorry,
to feel
missed
small.
that one. Okay, got it.
Yes.
Yeah, she said the
But-
plants were big, but so I don't get it. I mean,
How do you make a Monopoly themed party?
right? Besides the characters,
Sure.
is the floor like the game?
So you know how on the board game, right, you have the different colors that you can land on. So think of as a set piece where, for example, my food station was on a table, but I had a huge set piece above it, which was in yellow, with like mailboxes on either end. Because I played into all of the colors of the board. So there was a red section, a yellow section.
Go to jail.
But the set decor, yes, there were some bars in the jail, and yeah, you can take a photo with it. I had a banker that would.
I was like, did you have fake money?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, the banker was the old guy with the beard and everything. Right.
Yep. So had a banker, also had casino games. So, exchange your money, go play some games. But yeah, and then there was projection onto the wall. So we had the actual board projected onto, not the ceiling, but just the wall. And then what's really fun is you can play into all the colors with the pipe and drape. So the pipe and drape was laid out in a way where you had the red section, the yellow section. And so when you walk through the party, you could be in the green section. You look to the right where the pipe and drape is, it's green all the way through. But then if you take, 30 extra feet, you could be in the yellow section. So everything within that bay is yellow going into the pipe and drape again.
That's pretty cool. Do you have pictures you could send me?
Yes, I do.
It's like all the food that you're seeing these days and all the Instagram pictures, or it's like all yellow or yellow themed food, but that's what you did throughout the whole entire event with everything, which is really cool.
Well, we just do a lot of them. That one sounds really creative.
It's not the next Cool Off in Style.
No,
Dave.
not the next. No, I'm talking about the office. We just threw the inappropriate T-shirt theme.
Oh gosh. Yep.
So everybody wore an inappropriate T-shirt, which is a very conversational type event.
That sounds like it. See, we need to bring Cecilia into Phoenix and just do next year, 2 years, because I'm next year, Cool Off in Style. It's an event for people in the event industry.
That'll be our
really
35th year.
Hey, there you go.
Oh, actually, I just came up with the most ridiculous thing I did. So I did a fire and ice party. That was a different theme. So half the theme was like cool, like Winter Wonderland. The other side was fire. So on the ice side, I brought in a huge block of ice and live had someone come in with a chainsaw and carve a chair. And then so once the chair was carved out of this huge block of ice, we then laid a pad down. And so it became this photo moment for people to go in and take photos in this huge ice chair.
Yeah.
So that
I love that.
That's
that
pretty
was
cool.
wild.
Yeah.
And yes, the chainsaw was loud for that brief period as they were
It's true.
carving, but
Yeah.
it was a fun moment because then it was interactive afterwards.
Right.
It is. It's actually cool to see them carved live too. I've been
Mark does
to
that.
what?
Mark does it.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to Lerner and Rowe did their holiday party, or not holiday party, but it was gifting the nonprofits that they basically give money to every single year, and they get them all together, and they did like a live carving, which was, like you said, loud. And it's not always just chainsaws. Like, it's crazy how many different tools they have. And then obviously just water was like everywhere because it was outside, you know, not an inside event, outside event. But it is cool. I'm a huge advocate for like interactive components in events, because that's what to me is memorable. Like, I remember going to some restaurant or something, it was a bar, it was Fire and Ice, a bar in Florida, and you went into the ice and you had to put on like literally fur coats. Of course, I wore sandals the same day, so I had sandals and a fur coat on, and you sat on this huge ice chair and there was a polar bear next to you. It was hilarious. And I'm like, those are the things you remember. And the one thing, if you ever do an ice party again, it threw me off, and I don't know why. They made the drinks and put them in a cup, but the cup was ice.
Right.
So I was drinking a drink that didn't have ice in it. And that, for some reason, you're always just used to, you know, drinks, let alone cocktails.
I have a mold that we can do that.
Have ice. Yeah. And then this cup, you don't need ice for this cup because it's ice. You need gloves. Yes, but oh my gosh, that's funny. How big was the chair?
It was pretty big because when I
could
sat
multiple
in
people
it,
sit in it?
No, it was definitely one person. I mean,
Okay.
Sure, I guess you could squeeze, but when I sat in it, the decor, like the chair, the rest of the chair design was still taller than me when I was sitting in it.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I love it.
It's a big block of ice.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. I would not want to carry that thing in.
You let the ice guys do that.
Right, exactly. Oh my gosh. Okay, so have you had any like AV fails or things that just like didn't work out right, microphone's not working in the middle of a speech or something along those lines?
That's pretty simple.
It's pretty simple, but the reaction is what I was going for. So like, is it the person that just like stays there and does like dum diddy dum dum, just waiting, or do they dance and create a show like Dave would?
Have you ever seen me dance?
No. But I can picture it. I can picture if he is on stage and a microphone's not working and some technology fail is happening. I would definitely keep you entertained. He's going to, entertain you somehow.
Mm-hmm. So going back to the accessibility conference, so there were up to 5 breakouts going on at any given point. And so I would log in online because it was hybrid. Okay. So I would log in online to make sure things were working well. And I started seeing chatter in one of them that the sound wasn't coming. They could see the people, but sound wasn't coming into that group. So it was one of those, like, I immediately went to the AV team and said, you know, what's going on here? It was something that they just had to switch on the back end that allowed it to work. But yeah, I'm always like, when there are breakouts involved, especially when it's hybrid, make sure you have someone going into the rooms, the virtual room, to double check that everything's working.
And that wasn't during COVID, was that? Even though
no,
COVID was like, that's
year.
how we did a lot of events. So interesting. Yeah. I remember we had to do a charity event during COVID that was online, and that was a very interesting way to do a charity event. It worked, but it wasn't obviously the same reaction you would get in person. So I'm happy we're not in that world anymore. I'll tell you that. Yeah. Okay, so is there a funny story that you're willing to share with us that you wouldn't normally share publicly? That you're willing to do
like we're best
on a
friends.
podcast that goes publicly everywhere? No names. You can even fib locations or anything like that.
Use my name.
Use Dave's name.
A funny event story.
I'm only doing this one to her because I went to college with her, and I feel like I can. She's still younger than me.
Tell
I can haze her a little bit.
About Rachel from college.
Oh God. Actually, I'm curious. Yeah, go for it. I'm very curious what she would do.
What was she like in college besides the sports? What type of personality? What kind of guys did she date?
Oh yeah, because I have answers there, stories there.
No, I mean, Rachel's always been very wholesome. So I think, yeah.
Wholesome's a good word. Yeah, I never thought of that. That makes sense.
I was risk management chair of our sorority. So I had to make sure all the drunk girls got home safely, and we had like sober drivers because Uber and Lyft and Waymo were not it at the time. So if I wasn't out there physically driving them around, I wanted to make sure somebody
Wholesome.
else was.
Okay, this is going to be interesting.
Wholesome.
We
worked a lot.
Were you the partier? Was she taking care of you?
Maybe at times.
I would say yes, there are memories of that, but none that are like way over the top, like crazy.
No. And like, look, for Arizona Athletics, for certain games, like if it's a noon kickoff, we had to be there to set up at like 7 a.m. So my call time, I'd be waking up at 6 something, which I'm like, so many early mornings and late nights. I mean, I was, we were getting primed for what the event world was, what the event world is, right, back then. But yeah.
Well, people don't understand. I mean, the weekends for us are busy.
Yeah.
Right? Monday, Tuesday is our weekend.
Maybe.
Right? Sunday's cleanup usually for me.
Sunday, oh man, Mondays are always recaps and prepping for the rest of the week. I'm like, I'd love to have actual true 2-day weekend.
All right, I'll make a call.
Make a call. That would be hilarious. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So going to your question, I won't name names, but at one of the holiday parties I did, I was told that I don't know, someone was offered by the CEO. I was working with maybe some mushrooms at that holiday party where they were asking around for mushrooms. This isn't recently. This is, because I feel like maybe mushrooms are having a moment. I don't know. People.
Oh yeah, they are.
Ayahuasca retreats, but no, this was years ago. So I heard about that. And
the higher ups are asking for some fun stuff to do.
Did you find any?
Yes. No, they didn't come to me.
Oh,
I just heard about this in passing. Like, oh yeah, so and so asked to go do this with me, and then that same party, people don't realize, right? Like, you get to see every single photo booth photo.
He's got stories there.
It's funny you say that. Back in the day, they gave you a disc. It wasn't digital. And I have a disc where I could use for blackmail if I really needed it. Because there's a lot of people in our industry that were doing things in that stupid booth.
Did you have people kissing each other that you never expected to kiss, but they kissed because they were behind the photo booth doors?
I'm sure that happened, but I think the one that comes to mind is it was a former boss. I was like, oh, I would have never expected him to look that, that buzzed. Being polite.
Oh, we've had flashing. We have all sorts of. The photo booths are. People don't understand that's forever.
Yeah,
it's like the internet.
We need like the red flag warning here.
Well, nowadays it's all digital. So, but back then, they would take it and then they'd hand me a disc, and then I would just keep the disc.
Or back in the day, they actually have one of these at a space I do some events. They have the old school where it comes out with the
paper,
the 4 or 5 whatever pictures, and there's no digital proof of it except
you taking a
picture of it.
I bet you there isn't.
There might be now, but yeah, that's hilarious though. Yeah, it's always funny seeing people that you wouldn't expect, and I feel like this is kind of alcohol and parties bring this out in people, and you see a fair amount of it, of just you're seeing this other side of them that you never thought you'd see before, and it could be one of these things that's like, oh, okay, I wish I didn't see that side of you, or the other one like, oh, I'm going to remember this forever.
Right. Well, you see nice people get completely mean.
Yeah.
And you see nice people or mean people that you work with become very nice.
Yeah.
Tell you they love you, right? I love you so much.
The type of drinks that are out there.
I just thought of another one.
Oh, there you go. See?
I just thought of another one. This one. So one of the companies I worked for was getting acquired, and I had to discreetly plan 3 events in less than 2 weeks. But fast forward to the day that we're all celebrating, and at the end of the day, the official event time was 12 to 4. So people then transition, at 4 p.m. to the happy hour at the same spot. But somebody comes up to me and was like, I would like to order 100 oysters. Granted, they were definitely not sober, not in the right mind. And I was like, you are not getting my corporate card for 100 oysters. Go ask so-and-so executive.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
They did. They did.
They got the 100 oysters?
They did, yes. The executive handed over their corporate card, which I'm like, fine. I already spent $18K on this party. Right. You go get budget.
I wonder what happened after eating all of those oysters.
Well, there was 100 people there. Everybody got one?
I mean, by that point, there were definitely less than 100 people. but this was like, the after party that started at 4 p.m. But
I love drunk people.
I'm sure they had to fund a lot of aphrodisiacs. Is that how you say that
Aphrodisiac.
There you go.
Yeah.
Great. You're so wholesome.
Only
Oh my God, I'm going to use that. Thank you so much. I'm going to use that word forever now.
I had one that was a very well-known musician do a festival, and in their rider, they made us do 500 chicken wings. 500.
Wow.
I'm like, do you know how many chickens you're killing here for 500 chicken wings? Went into the
250?
trailer after the whole trailer just smelled like pot. It was just so everywhere. Like, we couldn't even use it for a day. We had to air out the whole thing until we let another
So he had
artist
the
go back
munchies.
in. And I swear that dude only ate like 5 chicken wings. I'm like, and it's not like something we could like give to somebody else because they've been sitting out. It smelled like pot. I'm like, oh my God, these poor chickens that died for his 500 chicken wings and him having 5. I can't imagine it. But
Right.
when
Came out to
you
five.
ask and somebody's willing to pay for it, there's a way to make it happen. So, oh my gosh. Okay. So, kind of coming to an end, what do you think is like the biggest lesson that you've learned through all of the craziness that's happened in the event space?
Sure. And this is something I carry over from my supply chain experience, which I'm like, at the end of the day, events, it's logistics with a dash of creativity, right? But it's all logistics, what we're doing day in and day out. So one thing that was drilled into me with my supply chain experience is I'm never single sourced in an area. I have multiple vendors, multiple mobile bartending vendors, multiple, AV vendors that I can pull from, caterers, because of course it's like you have your favorite people that you work with, but they may not always be available. But I'm never single sourced, and I'm 3 words I live by that I got from my former boss: trust but verify. So to me, when I'm evaluating a vendor, I'm evaluating them from the first interaction or touch point, whether I meet them in person or start communicating with them online. I actually have a knack for finding talent at bars. Like I've hired I've hired security, a flower vendor that I met at a restaurant that I was sitting next to. But that to me, it's like, because you can gauge someone and like
100%.
right?
You never know where you're going to meet some of the best people. Where did I meet you, Dave? No, I'm kidding. I don't even remember where I
Well, you
met
get a
Dave.
feeling, right? You talk to them, and you could tell right away if they're handing their card and they're use me versus they want to help you succeed at the same time, right? Yeah. So you know there's a working relationship versus me.
Totally. And I think, communication's a big part of that. That's a big part of the trust but verify piece too.
Are you young enough to just be a texter, or do you like email and phone calls?
Maybe because I was a communication major at U of A.
Hey.
I actually cater my style to the other person's preference. So if someone's a texter, which I have those vendors, I will communicate with them that way. If they're an emailer, I'll do that. If they're a phone call, I'll do that. So I'm all about, meeting someone where they're at, which doesn't always mean the most efficient process for me in interacting with vendors, but I think that's important for relationship building. And I do leverage ChatGPT where possible.
Oh my God.
we love
ChatGPT is
it.
amazing in the event space right now. Yes, it probably is a hindrance as well down the road, but and I agree with you to the extent of I will communicate with them how they best want to be communicated, but I will also always send an email because that's always proof of okay, here's literally all the event logistics, everything that I need to do. I'm not asking for them to give me anything back, but then I'm like, hey, I've sent you all the information. I get that's not your way, but I've at least communicated it to you.
Funny. My sales rep will literally say something, and I go, I didn't say that, and I will get a picture off her phone from Instagram from text that was 4, 10, 12 weeks ago. And I'm like, seriously? Yeah, it's the same concept.
I love it.
She's 30, so she's a puppy.
I know. It'll be interesting. Communication in events is definitely changing. A lot of an event world. I mean, everything.
I like emails. I like Facebook. I'm old.
Yeah, he uses Facebook all the time. I'm like, what? He's like, didn't you see it on Facebook? I'm like, no.
No. Yeah, I don't touch Instagram.
Oh my goodness. Well, Cecilia, it was so good catching up with you. It's been forever. It brought me literally back to college, seeing your face again, and how we used to work together in the hall, and it was fun.
I know.
But I know we'll have to we did a little reunion with our friend Brylan in San Francisco, wasn't it? Or did you come here? I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Or maybe I saw you in a corporate thing. Anyways, but we do have little reunions every once in a while. But it was so good to see you. And I'm so happy everything's going so well with Miss 7 by 7. If you're in the San Francisco space, everybody, make sure you check her out. if you need Event World.
And come up for Cool Off in Style the second Tuesday in June. She's throwing the party.
There you go. You can stay with me.
Awesome. Thank you.
Well, thank you for joining. Nice to meet you.
You too.
Have a good day. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
We suck at
the
this.
like, the subscribe, the comment, the thumbs up, the share, the what am I missing? Add pictures. I don't know. Everything
Bias
that you do. Bias lunch. At least it's not kissing us this time. He's like, kiss us. And I was like, please don't.
Kiss us.
Thank you guys. Have a good rest of your day. We'll catch you next time. Thanks for tuning into the Event Talk podcast, hot mics, cold drinks, and untold disasters, where every event has a story. A big thank you to our guests for their laughs, stories, and lessons. If you loved this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share with your fellow event pros. Until next time.